Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very special edition of ENS Updates. By the way, can you guys hear me clearly? If you could hear me clearly, please give me an emoji or something if you guys could hear me clearly. Okay, there we go. Because I'm trying to test out some new audio equipment and things of that nature. I have no idea if this is working. But ladies and gentlemen, we already know what time this is. This is a new edition of the show. This is Wind Down Wednesday, where if you're a speaker or panelist, I hope you have a glass of wine in your hand. This is how we're kicking off Wednesday episodes. It just adds a little bit more flavor to the show, right? And that's what we're all about innovating and changing it up. It originally started because of the hurricane last week, and then I was drinking some wine during the storm, and I decided I wanted to do this as a daily thing. I have nothing pinned up to the top yet. I'm going to pin some stuff up to the top. But before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsors. Shout out to ENS Maxi. Shout out to Domain Plug, Bloom Capital, who is with us today. And we will be doing a live interview with him on the space. So if you like that, go ahead and retweet the room. And shout out to Crypto Slam as well. Now, I just want to run through some quick updates in the market that I started to see. Primarily being Japan. It looks like Japan is making a big push with ENS. You know, I just pinned it to the top. Japan's prime minister said we will promote efforts to expand the use of the metaverse and NFTs. I said ENS. I meant within the metaverse itself. So I think that's a good sign. I think it's a global sign of global adoption that's coming. It's something to be happy about. It's something to be proud of because we predicted this. We've been working towards this very moment, and to see other nations adopt this is a very good sign, in my opinion. Ron is going out of town shortly here, so Ron, will you still be able to join us from the show out of town, or how is that going to work for you?
You know what? I think, I don't know, kind of like Africa, right? I never quite, I just, when I'd get back to, I'd always miss it by a half an hour. I think, I'm kind of going to Turkey, do some business and some other stuff, but the first week we're going hiking in the Tian Shan Mountains. So I don't think I'm going to have anything but satellite access on my little survival beacon slash texting deal. So yeah, I think I'll be here tomorrow. I'll potentially be here Friday, but I'll be in Istanbul depending on if I'm on my flight. And then yeah, then I'm going to Bishkek, uh, Kyrgyzstan, and driving for like a day each way. So yeah, I'll probably be about a week. I bet you I don't have any even cell service. So after that, when I get back to Turkey, I think I'll certainly join whenever I can. But worst case, I get back on like the 22nd. But yeah, I'll jump on all I can. But I think I am going to be completely. I don't even think I'll have cell service for like a week.
All good, all good. We have six man of the year in NFT verse who I think he's up for the challenge to step up and fill those big shoes. We'll see how that goes. But let's go over to Master. Master, man, good evening. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I wish you guys all have a great day. So, yeah, I want to share with you guys something. First is, as I'm running my own project, as you guys know, Red Letter. Recently, we've been talking about how we should help users from, saving the gas fee, has one of the value added service because Ethereum main network previously the gas fee is kind of high, so that there are a lot of L2 options, and yes, these propose that maybe we can use Polygon, and then we I found out that during the dev progress the developers they try to just use Polygon and then get rid of the original ERC 721, which I think this is a very serious issue. So saving money is something good. This can be a plus, but we should never forget where we come from, or especially right now after the merge ETH 2.0, the gas fee is not that bad yet, which means it's already much better. But it's always good to add like Polygon or Optimism, a lot of other solutions. This is something value add, but we should never forget where we come from. And about ENS, I think it's super bullish and very happy that Kev every day posting something very positive from Japan, from Japanese, which I love, right? You guys know I have Japan.es, and I'm considering to put something, interesting, maybe some listing or some, the project together with these domains I have. And the second thing I want to share with you guys is that don't underestimate the power, the energy of being a professional. For example, you guys all participated in the space from China, right? The Chinese guys they gathered more than 600. Well, he was thinking that the max was 800 something after some of the KOLs participated. It was kind of hosting a space, but you can feel that the guy was not so good because he didn't host that a lot, because he was not he has not experienced a lot of particular cases. He didn't know that when a lot of people get into the space, his PC or his computer, his mobile phone will have a big challenge, and it might be very very slow on the performance, and which will have a great impact to his facilitating the people and making them on and off the floor. And that's why that night I become the most busiest guy, to try to introduce people and one after another. So yeah, I'm telling you this because I think Kev has really been doing a super super good job. Don't underestimate the power of being a professional on this. And Kev 5159, our man, is a professional guy of doing that. Don't see it as a simple thing by simply doing this and keep doing this for the 6 or 7 months. This is something incredible to me. And second is also as a professional, uh, you know, job, brokerage of the domain is a super super difficult work to do in the market. Don't treat like selling NFT and selling domain as the same business. I don't think that's the same case. The NFT, the punk has 10,000 different pictures, but the ENS, it has countless of the dictionary of the combination of the words, and how to sell to whom, at what price, and how to negotiate. These are all very in depth of the technologies and skills and experiences, and I think majority of people don't have that kind of things. And even me, I'm an amateur of that. I can only say that I like the uh, I like ENS. I'm super bullish so that I can be more diamond hands and more people. but that doesn't mean I'm a good guy to negotiate. That doesn't mean I'm a good guy to find the potential buyer, and I'm the door knocker. I'm not that guy. So that yeah, I think earlier today I had a conversation with 00, and we are very pleased to each other. And I think maybe soon enough, I myself 00 and the domain plug, we will shake hands, and I will kind of yeah, dedicate a list or a wallet of my domains to them to help me to broke, and they will on behalf of me to sell these gems. And I very much look forward to these good names to have better promotion in the market. And because it's always the best thing to do, to let the professional guys do the professional thing, because they are always doing this better than you. Just like people educating us, don't buy the stock yourself. If you really want to get into the stock market, buy some funds, because those damn fund manager is way better than you. They have more knowledge. So they have more funds, and they have more whatever experience or news. So yeah, I think we should always do the same thing. And for ENS, I have long-term version, a long-term vision, yes. And also, at the meantime, I believe Web3 age is coming, and lots of the projects with the .e suffix of the entrance address is coming out. So let's just focus on that part, because there's a Doom page which shows every day's the ENS registration, participating addresses, and the wallets, the reverse association, and also the very important way is the content hash association, which means the IPFS, and that is the real utility. That is real. How many ENS has been pointed to some real address, and at least it can be a DWeb, it can be a fixed page, and that means the future of the Web3. So yeah, I encourage you guys to look on that more, because that really means how many rich men are stepping into the market. And 999 Club, all the digits, I don't think Apple can really eventually end up by 3 digits. They will buy something, these giants will buy something very special, right? And people keeps asking, because right now they are all talking about 001 could be the most expensive domain. 000 should be the most expensive. Is that really the case? What if someday ENS release one char or one character or two character of the names? What if someday there is $1? Is 001 still the best, right? So usually in the Web2 world, we know lots of suffixes. So from my understanding, if someday one character or two character names comes out, the premium words are still premium words. You guys with me, right? But the digits, it will depend. If the three lengths of digits is the shortest, then three length is the best. But once the one char and the two char comes out, 3 digits is not the best. And then premium words will take it. Then you guys will bet on whether or not one char and the two char will come out. And I think most things, if you really think in depth into it, yeah, and everything can be very logical. So yeah, I really appreciate Kev's your effort, and keep doing one thing for 6 months is one thing, but keep doing one thing with very professional way, with like you're specializing in that is another thing. So you nailed both. Congratulations, and I really look forward to talk to you guys, and enjoy your trip, Ron. I hope you will get a super good one, and I look forward to your feedback on this time's trip, within Chinese maybe. Thanks much, guys.
Thank you to the goat, our goat master. First of all, I want to say, master, thank you for the kind words. I do take this very serious. This is something I do enjoy doing, but this is something I try to also improve upon every single day. And I do give a lot of gratitude to the community, because you guys show up every single day. And I always say I wouldn't be talking to myself. So you guys have all my love and respect. Two, I agree. I agree a lot with what Master just said. Right, leave a lot of things. Leave it to the professionals. I love that you're going to be partnering with Zero and Boom to help broker some of your domains. I think that's a great idea, phenomenal idea. There's so much, like, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much opportunity in this industry right now, right in front of our face, and we're witnessing it happen right before our eyes. If you've been here for the past couple months, you've seen the growth from, let's just say, April, when this thing really took off, to now in October. it's been so much growth, so much development, so much movement, so much building. And there's a place for you. There is a place for you in this ecosystem, whether you believe it or not. You just have to find what works for you, right? So I will continue to support Master, his project. I love that Master's partner. Like, guys, look at the speakers on stage right now. I'm very excited about today's episode because we have some phenomenal gentlemen on stage that I'm really excited to hear from. And let's keep the show moving right along. I want to go over to NFT Verse real quick. NFT Verse, man, how you doing today, bro?
Hey, Jim 5159. As always, appreciate you. Just like Master said, just staying consistent and doing it in a way that a lot of people don't. In these spaces, I like this space because, when we started this space months and months ago, it started out with very few people, and now people have started to understand the level of information and alpha, if you want to call it that, but the skill set and knowledge and the diversity of that skill set and knowledge takes precedence over every single space that is out here. And I appreciate you always being able to conduct it in that fashion, and having the versatility to be able to kind of move and shake, as the wind blows in this ENS journey and crypto journey. So I appreciate you as always, 5159. Ron, co-hosting, as always, tapping in. Ron, I got your back. Don't worry about it. Relax, have a great time, unplug a little bit, and enjoy your friends and your family. We got you here, bro. Master is always dropping extremely great information in here. That's why it's important to tap into this thing, guys. I mean, like I said before, I mean, when you think about, we're covering a range and a time range and a time frame from the beginning of .com all the way to current Web3, early Web3, where we're at, just between Ron and Master and Gary P out there too. These are individuals who were early on, and everybody has the opportunity to tap into them right now, man. You may not get that opportunity later on. That's what you got to understand, is that you're here now. And as people get more and more busy in this space, because busy is going to happen, you're not going to be able to tap into them like you used to. So it's important to be able to grab these people while you can, help them and build with them while you have that opportunity. So I just kind of wanted to make sure I called that out. So Master, I appreciate you as always. I think one thing that we got to understand here, Master pointed out too, is that we don't know where this thing is going to go, right? So Master pointed out, possibly having, two digit domains or one digit domain. If that happened, then where does the capital flow? Where does the liquidity flow at that point? Will there be big players in there? How will they auction those off? Will they be auctioned? Will they be placed on the open market? You don't know. We don't know yet. So it's important to kind of understand and play this game strategically. And that's what we have to always think about when we're out there minting domains. And I'll say this because I said it before, right? That the inventory of ENS domains is still being built. Every time you see that registration bot happens, that is the inventory that's being built to on the most secure blockchain. For me, I think, in my opinion, the most secure blockchain on Web3 that's being built. That inventory is being built on with ENS. So I'll say this and kind of let it go. But there's levels to this, and there's layers to this. Like Master talked about layers, the L2s and L3s or whatever, in order to help mass adoption happen. So when I say there's levels to it, there's also layers to it, this thing called the blockchain. And the most important and the strongest layer to me is the OG layer, which is the Ethereum blockchain. That is the high quality, that is the premium. So ENS will always have a place in this, and if anybody wants the premium, they're going to have to go to ENS in order to acquire that. So I just want to say thank you, community, for tapping in this morning. Retweet the space out if you can. Shout out to Bloom that's in here as one of the sponsors. 00, Gary P, Luke. I see Flossin in here. E Money, Crypto Slam, 04190. Man, listen, man, if you haven't shared this space and shared some of the recordings with people that are interested in ENS, you got to do that. That's how we get more and more people in here, man. You're slacking if you're not sharing this alpha out here that's going on right now. Kev, man, I appreciate you always. I look forward to the discussion. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I couldn't agree more with what verse. Matter of fact, hold on. Where's my bombs? I forgot all about my bombs. I should have given Master some bombs as well. My bad, y'all. Verse always drops bombs, but I agree. Listen, I started off this show saying, Japan's prime minister can't stop thinking about the blockchain and NFTs in the metaverse. He can't stop thinking about it. Back-to-back days, there's been news about Japan wanting to FOMO into NFTs, right? And guess who owns Japan.eth? Guess who owns it? Somebody on speaker, just tell me, make a guess. Somebody please on the panel make a guess. Okay, nobody wants. Go
Master?
ahead.
Master.
Master owns Japan.eth. So there's gonna come a point in time where he sells
He
that.
also owns that Metallica song. Master.
Whoa. Whoa. I don't know about that one. But listen, there's gonna come a point in time where Master sells Japan.eth to the actual Japan. And when that day comes, who knows if he'll come back on this space? I don't know. He probably won't. If I was Master, who knows, right? So I'm just saying what NFT Verse was saying is tap in while you can. These guys have huge portfolios. These guys are grinding it out daily in the space. Bloom is building, Master is building, Ron is building, Crypto Slam is building, 00 is building. Gary, everybody here is building something amazing. And the truth is, in 5 years, in 10 years, these guys are going to be the next guys up, and including myself, right? I got to put myself in there because you are who you surround yourself with. But let's go over to my boy. Hey, Flex, before you go, I want to say phenomenal show yesterday. That was an amazing episode you guys did yesterday about ENS Shark Tank. I absolutely loved it. I'm going to keep on tuning in. I'm going to keep on sharing because I really get a lot of alpha from it, right? I love sharing my domains with you guys. I love I love your personality on the show. First of all, Flex, I think you make the show great with your with your personality. I love it, man. But Flex, the stage is yours, brother.
Oh man, too much 5159. Thank you so much, man. And yeah, I like to tune in every single day to listen to your show and the ENS Latino show in the morning. I mean, this is where we get the alpha. This is where we get the information from people like Master, people like Ron, people like yourself, people like Crypto Slam. And that's what I really want to bring up first and foremost is Crypto Slam. Crypto Slam yesterday, and I'm so sorry that I was late yesterday, but Crypto Slam yesterday was ending up the show talking about these gamer tags. And you guys have been hearing me for months screaming about as soon as these kids can sign in their PlayStations and their Xboxes, right? As soon as they can sign in with Ethereum, watch out. Watch out. I'm not kidding y'all. So gamer tags are very, very important, man. And there's something that happened yesterday during the show, and I want to go ahead and throw it out here because it is ENS related in all the way. I want you guys to know that the team over at Domain Plug has officially sponsored the ENS Shark Tank. So I want to give a big shout out to Bloom and his team over there that they did reach out to us and asked, if we could, form a partnership for them to sponsor us. And I think that, man, if you want to talk about over the moon, me, Steven, Trickshotting, Luke, -4, Fireball, formerly Fireball. We are so over the moon that this is what we're doing, guys. Big announcement. You ready for this one? The Shark Tank next week, Tuesday, October 11th, is coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Live from the Wynn in Las Vegas, Nevada. I will be there. Fireball will be there. Steven will be there. We're going to the Web3 conference. And the best part about this is not only are we going to do the show live from Las Vegas on Tuesday, but Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank himself is speaking on Wednesday. So, you know me and my big mouth. Who knows what might happen? You know what I mean? Who knows what might happen? But Mr. Wonderful himself from the Shark Tank will be speaking on Wednesday. So please tune in, guys, next Friday to the Shark Tank. Yeah, right on. Right on, man. I appreciate the sound. Yeah, so please tune in, guys, next strike. So check it out. ENS Shark Tank, sponsored by Domain Plug, artwork done by ENS Maxis. That's what's up. You see how we keep it in the community. We keep it going large. This ecosystem is growing. Big shout outs to 00, ENS Vision, those guys giving us our dedication, giving us our drive, giving us our motivation to continue to keep going in the space. You know, they led the way for all of this to happen, in my opinion. Like I've said it a million times. Vision has led the way for me on my journey. So I could have not done this without 00 and his team. And I am so stoked that Bloom and his team have jumped on board with me and Steven and Luke and Trick Shotting. Like, these are just all very important people, guys. So bless each and every one of you. And thank you so much, 5159, for giving me the stage, man.
Hey, Flexter, I wanted to say, man, there was some good names when I listened in. I was getting ready for my trip, but there was some good names that if I was a speaker, whatever, like I almost went in a bid on a couple. So it's really bringing the creams rising to the top. It's a great format. Same with ENS Latino. Those shows are growing. They're becoming, people are planning on them, looking forward to them. It's heading. And I just wanted to say one more thing. Golden Bezos was back yesterday, and looking forward to hearing from our friend of the show, Luke $74 Rocket Emoji Rocket, formerly Quad Rockets. Man, it's tough. It's tough to see, you know, when you get to know someone, you know. I mean, Luke, like, I don't know, it'll take a while before he's not Quad Rockets to me, but man, big stuff happening in that the negative space, some crazy stuff. So I'm looking forward to hearing about that from I almost said Quad Rockets, from Luke, I guess. Hashtag 74, because I have a lot of those. So anyway,
Hey, Ron.
big day with
It's
yeah.
great. It's great that you bring that up, actually, because I want to actually give a special shout out to -4. I want to give a special shout out to -4. Last night on the show, Drowning in Pussy came in and she put up her name with Got MILF and I think it was Alpha Pussy, right? She was giving up a package and I refused to buy it. And I told the entire room, if anybody buys that, I will fucking clown you until the cows come home. Like, nobody better buy that because I met her as Drowning in Pussy. She will always be Drowning in Pussy, right? So -4 bought the package from her. He bought the package from her on one condition. He gave her back Drowning in Pussy and she never changes her name. Because, guys, this is our digital identity. You better find one. And I think 5159 and NFL or NFTverse have both said you better have a backup. Because if somebody does come and offer you a huge amount of money for your digital identity, you know what I mean? Like that tag is kind of very important. You know what I mean? I don't want to say kind of, it's very, very important. Like if anybody came to me to try to buy Flexter, they better have a shit ton of money. And then if in fact they could get it from me, well, hold on a second, man. What's my backup? What's my backup, right? If I'm not Flexter.e.
Flexter, can you let us know how you really feel?
I love you, Ron. It's like family, bro. It's like family. You know what I mean? But it's serious, Ron. If you sell RN1 one day, who the hell are you going to be? You guys better think about a backup.
So I just have a question. One, I want to say, Flex, what do you use to talk on Spaces? Are you using like a microphone or are you using your phone? Just curious.
I've got a setup.
All right. I think personally, this is personal opinion, I think you should turn the mic volume a little bit down. Because it comes off sometimes it comes off really loud on the Spaces, bro. I love you. Hey, listen, Flex is welcome on my stage any day of the week, right? And we had another co-host spot. Damn near I'll put Flex. I actually co-hosted a night space with Flex during the hurricane, and it was an amazing space. But Flex, I think you should turn down the volume on the mic just a tad bit because sometimes it comes off screechy, at least on my phone. But yeah, Flex is great. Shark Tank is great. Man, I'm kind of blowed. You guys didn't give me an invite to Vegas, bro. I would love to be. You guys need to have me as a shark one day. And I wish I went to Vegas with y'all, but it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You guys seen it first. Kev wants to be a shark on Shark Tank. I'll come. I'll load up some ETH, and I'll come. I'll come buying some domains. But let's keep the show moving right along here because we do have a long list of people requesting to speak and things of that nature. Let's go to Gary Palmer Jr. and I'd love to hear from our boy Flossin. Let's do it. Gary, the stage is yours, brother.
GM, everybody. Man, while I was right in the middle of a tweet, trying to tweet something. Oh man, I was registering some ENS names this morning, and the gas was 5, and then the gas went to 0.1, and now I'm refreshing. The gas is like 0.25. It's going up in front of my eyes. I'm thinking gas is like 200 Gwei. I go and it's like gas is like 30 or 40 Gwei. It's like up to 50 Gwei right now. Something must be happening in the world, but it's crazy. I remember I was registering ENS names, when we were at like 120 Gwei. I mean, anybody here do that? And it's like, oh my God, those fees were so horrible. But you had to collect those ENS names. It was like those were the early days. 2.5 million ENS names. I think that's every word in the dictionary, right? Not really. That's sarcasm. But it's like we're at 2.5 million. Everyone thinks we're out of names. When we were at 2 million, everyone thought we were out of names. When we were at 1 million, everyone thought we're out of names. Man, I remember, we were at like 100,000 names, and I'm like, oh, that's it. All the good names are taken, and the 10K club wasn't minted out, or still like so many good names, and .com's up to 100 or 200 million names or something, and it's funny because it's like they have options too. They have .net and .io and .xyz, but .com, yeah, 200 million names, and there's probably still some good names you go hand register. I know for a fact I still hand register good .coms, but yeah, it's just funny, like when you like the more that you're in here and just watching things change, and like one of the effects of the psychology of crypto, it's really really interesting and usually a good thing for people, because people get in crypto and they buy into Ethereum, and like for me, I remember I bought into Ethereum when Ethereum was like $6 or $7, and so that whole year after that, Ethereum went to a couple $100, and I had a couple of Ethereum, and I'm looking at the Ethereum in my head. It's like, oh yeah, I paid $7 for those, and then actually they're like worth like it's like worth like $1,000 or $1,200 or whatever. It's all like monopoly money, and I think a lot of people had the same experience when they bought Ethereum for less than $1,000 in that last bear market, and then it went to $4,000. People are throwing around Ethereum like it's because it's just like these games that we played with, our minds play with ourselves, like what does gas look like, now versus what was it like when we first got started. That's why, before the last bear market, people were used to 1 Gwei, like 1 Gwei was nothing. It was like really common. And then, crypto kitties blew everything up. And then everything blew everything up. And then, these gas fees are out of control. And yeah, so people went from gas fees being really low to really high, and it was uncomfortable. Then, but a lot of degens that got in the top of the bull market, gas went really high, and now it's like kind of low again. Even though I don't know what's going on, but I'm watching it just hit over 100 Gwei, so there must be some mint or something happening. But I want to buy these names. I'm not sure how long it is. Someone can like see what names you're buying and then snipe them from you. That hasn't happened yet. I'm surprised that doesn't happen more. But man, that Las Vegas Shark Tank thing sounds really cool. Did you say Mr. Wonderful is going to be there? That if that's the case, that's crazy. And if that's the case, I sure hope that's on YouTube. Live stream that shit. I don't know if they'll let you. But wow, that's cool. I mean, Mr. Wonderful. Then you have is it Matthew Higgins? Is that his name? A lot of people getting in the game. It's funny to think like how much earlier we are from all of them, but that's just the way it goes. They're it's like Warren Buffett, talking shit about Apple his whole life, and then he starts buying Apple, and after it's like well established to be important. The same thing with Tesla. Talk shit about Tesla. Talk shit about Bitcoin. He hasn't bought Bitcoin yet, but he'll probably do after goes to an all-time high. Yeah, so much fun stuff happening, and a little bit uncomfortable with the tipsiness of this room. It's strange seeing the wine glass emojis with the ENS updates instead of the fire emojis. I feel like the fire emojis are really a part of the ENS updates brand. I feel as if this is a completely different show. Sometimes I don't even know where I am, but maybe that's all the wine talking. So I guess that's enough rambling from me. Not really sure what I was going to talk about, but super excited about everything. Everyone in this room, you guys, get off your ass, do something, go buy your ENS name, go set up your fields, go set your primary name, go create a decentralized website, start doing shit, get into the forum, start listening to what's going on. I don't know if ENS Vision and Bloom saw, but there's like a proposal right now in the Discuss board talking about updating how the registrations are done so that like an ENS name sort of indicates where it was purchased from, which could be a precursor for a lot of really, really cool stuff, and then sort of like a leaderboard, you could have like a registration leaderboard, or you can have, maybe build that on the back of a referral system. But yeah, there's all these great ideas. And the last thing I want to say is, yeah, I've been in this for a long time. You guys know that since the very beginning. And I've been asking more questions, even me, right? I've been asking more questions about how the DAO works and, where are the holes in the centralization, right? Because I don't like lying to myself about decentralization, because decentralization is more important to me than money. Generally speaking, yeah, obviously I got to eat and stuff, but let's see here, decentralization, and it seems as if the ENS DAO, the .eth part of it, is extremely decentralized, and as far as my research is showing me, is really 100% decentralized and completely dependent on the people that own the ENS tokens, right? And in my head, I've been having it in my head that, like, sort of like lying to myself a little bit in both directions, saying that, well, is the ENS DAO really like decentralized, or does True Names Limited control the ENS DAO, right? And they're just like, right, is it really decentralized? And what I'm realizing is that the DAO is really decentralized. The tokens in the treasury, the changes to smart contracts, that it has to go through the tokens, and then I don't think there's any way around it, right? I need to continue verifying this. But what it underscores to me, and the point I want to get to everybody, is that literally the DAO is whoever does the work. If you do the work and you have tokens, or if you do the work and you can convince people who have tokens that your idea is a good idea, your work in the DAO can become more significant than True Names Limited, right? And True Names Limited comes with, like, as like the core team, they come with a strong reputation of building a system and creating it in a way that's like fair and decentralized. But it's and they're great gatekeepers, because obviously they don't want someone to come in and destroy the system that they built. And because they were early, they have a lot of ENS tokens, and they have a lot of reputation, and they have a lot of understanding. But literally anybody in this room can participate and can have a major influence on the DAO. And you just have to, like, play and participate more to wrap your mind around some of these things. And then step 2 is just make your voice heard. So get off your ass, start doing shit, work hard, play hard.
Love that, Gary. I love that perspective that you bring. A couple of things I want to say to Gary. One, Gary, this is Wine Down Wednesday edition of ENS Updates, where I hope you have a glass of wine yourself. Two, I agree, right? I think it was not until these spaces I started doing it, speakers like Gary coming on stage and talking about the DAO, where I truly started to learn about the DAO. So although I am hosting these things, I am learning a lot every single day from these phenomenal speakers that we have on stage. I knew nothing about the DAO really back in April, right? But I've learned and I've grown so much since then because of the phenomenal speakers we have on stage. So shout out to that. I agree with you, Gary. There's so much opportunity in this space right now. If you're not doing, there's an opportunity for everybody here, whether you're just a simple shit poster or you're building your own marketplace. There is a space for you to thrive right now in this moment of time in history, right? So I advise everybody take advantage of it while you can, because I guarantee you in 3 years it's going to look a lot different than it did now. We'll look back in 3 years and say, remember the good old days of 2022. Let's keep the show moving right along. Let's go over to triple water gun, my boy Flossin, and I think I kind of want to get this interview started with a domain plug, Bloom Capital.
Hey, GM team, and good evening to Master or anyone who's over there in that part of the world. Been trying to tune in. I've been having some meetings, so I'm kind of in and out, but love what I'm hearing. Bullish had an exciting day yesterday, right? Woke up to State.East selling at a good price. Golden Bezos doing what Golden Bezos does, doing a little sweeping. Had some other actions, people sweeping some digits. Arabic floors looking pretty good. I didn't mean to hit laughing, I meant to hit clapping. But yeah, so it's a good day, right? I agree with you, Kev. A few years from now, I think even sooner than a few years, we'll all be looking back like, man, should have bought more, should have hodled more, should have got some more IRL friends in. Maybe should have worked a little bit harder. So what I'm going to be doing tonight when I get off work, I do have a friend who does own a car dealership. I've spoken to NFT's verse, seen some of the messages. He wants to enter ENS, so we'll see if we can get him to pull the trigger. When he gets back from vacation, I'll be setting up a meeting with him, see who we can get onboarded within the car industry.
Hey, bro, any updates with KJ Jefferson? Did you reach out to his team?
Man, I've emailed multiple different people. It looks like he's got like a new type of director of marketing or something from the NIL, because it used to be a guy, now it's a woman. So I emailed both of them again, nothing. I've reached out to him on Instagram on my personal page, nothing. I've only got him once to like a comment, but I'm going to see what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to pressure him either. I'm hot on that thing. I actually had it listed. I had like a ridiculous price just for kicks and giggles. I delisted that. So, yeah, man, if anyone knows how to get in touch with maybe some of these athletes like KJ Jefferson or a couple other ones I have, just please DM me. I'm not looking to make any money off of it. Like, straight just trying to onboard people, because people like that who have current advertisement deals with likes of Walmart and what have you, I mean, can go a long ways. And that's what I'm here about, right? I'm here about the longevity of not just ETH, but also ENS. So if anyone can help me out with that, just please DM me and let's get to work.
I think Punk's, just off the top of my head, I think Punk's is in this room. I think he might have the best connections to that personally. He's onboarded a couple athletes, so definitely reach out to Punks, or Punks reach out to Flossin, and see if you guys can do something there. I love the attitude of Flossin. I absolutely love that. I think onboarding athletes is a great idea, because they have so much people that look up to them. They have so much people that are inspired by them. So I love that. Let's get started with the, so ladies, let's get some round of applause if you guys are ready for the Bloom Capital live interview on the space. Yes, sir. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. All right. Let's do a drum roll. And I guess I'll start off with Bloom, kind of just introducing, if you want to introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll get this thing started.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me today.
Love it. So, Bloom, the first thing we want to know, the people, this is the people want to know. It's basically what inspired you to build Domain Plug in this market right now.
Yeah, so at the time, it just felt like the market was like screaming for a marketplace. And, all we had at the time was OpenSea, and no one seemed to be taking the initiative at the time. Even ENS Vision was just like a tool feature. They weren't even a marketplace then. And I was like out on vacation, and a friend of mine hit me up telling me that there was a team looking for some work. And I decided, looked into them. I had already spoken to like 4 other teams before, and, like devs and whatever. And these guys seemed like they knew what they were doing. They were really confident about building the project. And yeah, by the end of that day, we signed the papers, and they got started.
Love that. See where the demand in the market is. Find a problem and solve it. That is a true entrepreneur to your essence. And that's all entrepreneurship is, right? Is finding a problem and selling a product, or having a product to solve that problem. So yeah, I agree, man. Back in early early April, and even before early April, there was only OpenSea. So shout out to ENS Vision, shout out to Domain Plug, shout out to Crypto Slam, who also has dropping now. You guys are really the true builders in this community. So I love that, and I do appreciate that. So Bloom, what inspired the name Domain Plug? Why did you decide to go with that?
Yeah, so originally when I started this, I had a partner, and we both just kind of came up with the name, and we typed it in on OpenSea to see who had it, and ended up being Guayman, who was like a good friend of mine, and we just ended up reaching out to him, and he was cool. We worked out a deal, and we just ended up going with it.
I love that. Guayman is thinking light years ahead. That is hilarious. I love that. Cool. So I guess I want to get into a little bit more of the nitty gritty of the marketplace. So what cool features are available that we should know about now? And then I guess, yeah, let's start with that question. I'll ask the next one after that.
Yeah. So at the moment, we obviously have the main clubs, like that's everybody's into, the 999, 10K. We also have like a featured domain section, or like we're calling it Bloom's Picks. But that's something we're gonna be looking into more soon. Like developing that that section more. Also Smart Search, which is, gives you every domain registered that's associated with whatever word or emoji that you type. So if you type in a word like loan or emoji, it gives you it gives any buyer more options, more things to look through than just, like just the word loan. You could see any word associated with the word loan. Also, uh, sorry. Yeah, and obviously our main feature, which is the categories, where people can choose the category that their names belong to, and that's all done manually. But yeah.
Love that, Bloom. And I love the idea of categories. I think for one, I keep saying this, and I want to bring this back. Categories helps, just help the mind from declutterization, right? I think easily just going on, this is what I'm looking for. I want to buy a sports domain, go to the sports category. I want to buy a professional name, go to professional category. I want to buy a cat domain, go to the cat category. So I love the ideas of categories, and I said this on the space before. I'm gonna say it again. I think the categories that Domain Plug has is going to help trigger the bull word run, right? I think ENS Vision did a great job. I don't think we'll be where we are today in ENS without ENS Vision, primarily with the digits. Those categories really help catapult us to where we are today. And I think Domain Plug taking a bit of a different direction, focusing on words and categories. I think we're going to help trigger that word bull run that a lot of us been talking about for a while. So shout out to you for doing that. And I guess I kind of want to step away from Domain Plug. I just want to learn a little bit more about your foresight and insight. Where do you see ENS in 5 years?
Yeah, I have a really optimistic view about where we're heading. I think that as this grows, there will be more market participants, and that just, with when you have more people in the game, you get more curious people who want to build, and when that happens, they start building products and services for companies, and that sort of thing. So I just think that eventually, we'll get a bunch of people in this space, a bunch of, very intelligent people like we already have, and just people who will just wake up one day and decide, like, we have to build, we have to find solutions. And yeah, I just think we're just going to create this ecosystem of great products that everybody's just going to want to eventually join and use eventually. So yeah, that's where I think we're headed.
Love it, love it. And the famous quote saying is .eth is the new .com, and I like to counter that by saying .eth is going to be bigger than the .com, because it's so much more utility, so much more use cases in the years to come. If you just kind of take a look at what's going on, I got a special question, Demand Loon. Somebody's asking, when is Domain Plug going to be open to the entire public?
So it could be a few days to like a week or so. We're just making sure it's all cleaned up for everybody to use before we launch it publicly. We already saw like a huge influx of people and they're just using the crap out of it right now. So we're just gonna make sure that it's ready for you guys to use, so it's it doesn't crash or anything like that. But yeah, it shouldn't be more than like a week, 2 weeks maximum.
Love that. Love that. Any final thoughts, words, anything you want to get off?
Yeah, I'm just happy to be amongst you guys, and like we're creating this amazing ecosystem. So and one thing that makes me most bullish about all of us is we're using our time. Like our time is so valuable, yet we're doing all this basically for free. And when you get a group of people to do things like this for free, you like it's not about the free aspect, but it's just like when you put all this output and people are doing it for free, like you create something really great. So that's what makes me most bullish about this. We all actually give a fuck. We're not here for money or whatever. So yeah, that I'm excited about all of us. I think we all have a bright future ahead of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you love that interview with Bloom Capital, let's give some round of applause. Let's give some hearts. I think Bloom is doing a phenomenal job in the space right now. He is a busy man, and thank you for coming on and sharing some insight. I think that was well needed from the community. If you aren't following Bloom, definitely give him a follow and give Domain Plug. It's in his bio. A follow so you guys can stay up to date on what's going on with them and all the greatness they're bringing to the market. I love it, man. So keep doing you, keep grinding. Appreciate you sponsoring this show, and hopefully we continue to build together. And that's what it's about. Any questions from the panelists? If not, then I guess we'll keep the show moving right along. I guess cool. I guess I want to open it up to 0000. I know Master mentioned he's working with 00 and Bloom 00. If you want to kind of touch on your relationship with Bloom and what you guys are working on, that would be great.
Thanks. Thanks, Kev, Ron, and Master, Bloom, Crypto Slam, Gary, for having me. So Bloom and I have been working in behind the scenes for a while. In real life, we are actual friends and have a lot of respect for each other. So from one platform to another, I wish Bloom and Domain Plug the best of luck, and hopefully, people will realize that we're not competitors. Bloom is a builder. He's been in ENS, and a huge component why ENS is successful as it is today because of Bloom. So having said that, touching off what Master said, Bloom and I have formed an asset management company, a broker slash live auction business, where it's called the Blossom Group .xyz. What we are is we're more of an asset management and long-term player for ENS names. We are a broker, so we will broker deals as well as having a live auction. Having said that, our approach is a little different than just putting a name up for sale or shilling it or whatnot. We take the portfolio, we take some names, we'll build upon it. The portfolio owner, as of now, we do have 4 massive accounts. And how we represent them is build out their brand, build out their ENS names, slash broker some of the names when needed, slash put them up for auction when needed. Doesn't hurt to get a little liquidity for our clients. Basically, we would like to brand out or enhance their portfolio and get them more exposure and visibility, as far as giving them the proper attention that name deserves. Also, these are super premium. We're not just talking about just your regular ENS names, though they are important. So every member of the community is important. But these names are super premium. So when we're brokering them and treating these names with some respect, this is a long-term play that Bloom and I came up with. As far as like the level of exposure, I'll give you an example. Master, I have a conversation with Master early this morning, and it was a really good conversation. And it was an honor to have him come aboard to a point where we can represent his portfolio and build upon it, and also branding that portfolio as well. So we haven't publicly announced the blossomgroup.xyz. Bloom and I will probably have this Twitter account. He made a preview tweet, but publicly we think this week we'll make a huge announcement, and to go from there. We do charge a small fee, and that fee also includes everything that we do, whether we make a plan for a name to subdomain, we strategize a subdomain plan for that particular, or a few of the ENS names in that particular portfolio. So it's not just about selling a name, it's building a brand around that name, as well as giving the proper visibility and exposure. And I appreciate the time, Kevin.
Wow, Zero. Shout out to Zero and Bloom for building upon that. I love that, gentleman. And that goes back to my point of the opportunity there is to build in this space. We are talking to true builders. If you're not inspired, then you should be inspired, because I am absolutely inspired right now, right? So I wish you guys so much success in what you guys are building. I think it's one, you have you said you have high profile clients, and you also have masters. So I think your job is going to be a little bit easier with a portfolio like master. So shout out to that, Zero. Please do keep us updated on the progress of it. This is what ENS Updates is about, right? We're about updating the community about what's going on around the ecosystem. Now, I do want to take the time to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, ENS Max, the 10K PFP collection, all about EN. If you own over 10 ENS, if you have over 10 ENSs in your wallet, there should be no reason why you don't own an ENS Maxi, because you are ENS Maxi. The average person doesn't even know what ENS is. So give the Maxis a follow. Shout out to Crypto Slam, and a shout out to Domain Plug as well. 3402 just came on stage, and with that being said, we'll go into the weather forecast for the day.
GM, happy Wind Down Wednesday, Kev, Ron, Master, community. I will not be partaking. Unfortunately, there's no winding down when dealing with COVID and monkeypox. I will be saving that for the Friday night happy hour. Now to the weather, brought to you by Crypto Slam. Top 24-hour categories, all about the emojis. Single emojis on fire, with volume increasing over 2,700% in 24 hours, and a conservative floor price of 1.6 ETH. Still a good entry, in my opinion. Base single emojis bringing in 48 ETH in 24 hours, and over 50% increase in floor price at 15 ETH. Both emoji clubs with a top bid of 7.8 ETH. 10K club filling this fall season with a 94% drop in 24-hour volume and a floor price of 2.45 ETH. Top offer of 19.5. And we have Fo.eth, aka Matt Garcia, is looking to trade Publicity.eth for a 4-digit. That makes me bullish AF. ETH Emoji 999 Club. It's October and the brooms are out with a 726% increase in daily volume and over 17% in increase in floor price. This club is hot, combining two of the top clubs and ready to explode. The floor is at 0.85 and headed to the moon. Not financial advice ever. Top 24-hour sales, single base emojis. Not sure exactly, but it looks like a boy bowing maybe. Sold for 20 ETH. Quadrockets.eth, an epic sale of 13.6 ETH. Congrats, Luke, but let this be a lesson about playing games on chain. Other notable sales late to this one, Ox30.eth sold for 2.65 ETH, and 2-7.eth purchased for 1.27 ETH. We are still very early. Remember to diversify. AZCardinals.eth accepted an offer of 4 ETH. Let's fucking go. Sports names are heating up and my bags are packed. 5 digits popping off. 69694.eth sold to a 1 ETH offer. Speaking of popping, we have quad cherry emojis also for 1 ETH. Both juicy sales, both lowball bids. More sports related sales. Gillette Stadium.eth selling for 2.8 ETH. That is my deal of the day. The Patriots will have to pay up for this one. That is now listed for a cool 40 ETH. Additional news per Crypto Slam, ENS sales volume has grown by over 171% in comparison to 2021 versus 2022, going from 1.2 million to 15.6 million. That is a wrap for the weather. Winds down Wednesday. Enjoy it, everyone. I will make up for it tomorrow on Thirsty Thursday. Stay warm, stay safe, and don't lose your seed phrase. Thanks, Kev.
Whoa, whoa, 34-2. That was phenomenal. I don't know how she does it, but you do a phenomenal job every single time you come and you give the weather report, and I really appreciate that. Now, I think we just got a new thing, Thirsty Thursdays. I don't know what that is, but I think 34-2 just incorporated that into the show. And another thing I wanted to touch on, two more things I wanted to touch on is one, um, Gillette Stadium accepted that low offer for I think for 2.8 ETH, which is kind of crazy because last week they had an offer for 25 ETH. They literally had an offer for 25 ETH last week, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it's going on, but they didn't accept the 25 ETH offer, and they just accepted one for 2.8, which is kind of crazy to me. But it is what it is. Thank you for 3402. Let's go right over to Luke, aka Quad Rockets. Quad Rockets, thank you for being on stage. He just sold Quad Rock, formerly known as Quad Rockets. My bad. He just sold his domain, I believe, yesterday. So not Quad. Luke, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm basically just hanging out here, listening to you guys spill all this alpha every day, and I appreciate all you guys' dedication to this show as well. Again, without it and without the other builders, we wouldn't be here, obviously, and I don't think we'd see the market moving in a bear like we are as well. But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited. Obviously, Bezos outsmarted me. I was playing a cat and mouse game with him where I'd list it for a price above what I sold it for, and then I'd wait for him to fill his wallet, and then I would take that price off and then have it listed higher. And I walked away, and next thing I know, he filled his wallet, and I wasn't paying attention. But either way, I can't complain. So I'm thankful and looking for the next moves. So yeah.
So what's the next move? I'm pretty sure you're well ahead of the game right now. What are you thinking the next alpha, the next gems are in the market?
Oh goodness, that's a lot of weight. I don't want to say anything in terms of that people go and buy. I just think whatever you're more passionate about, if you can build around that passion, you're good. So, for example, we got the normalization function coming. Those names are something I'm looking into. I'm looking into a lot of names that are on premium. Right around the early 2018 period. So there's like a Dune dashboard where you can look at premium names. Sometimes you can find words that people aren't looking for. For example, I found leeches and healer and smolder, like all dictionary words that were pretty cheap. So those kind of names. Also looking into things for subdomains. Of course, everybody's been looking for that. I think looking for subdomains should have been well over 3-4 months ago when you're trying to build on that. But there's still plenty of good subdomains out there. For example, I don't know if it's good, but I registered Appolis. So Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Annapolis. Yeah, you can put those in front of it. It's also a Greek name. So things like that, just multi-purpose use case names is what I'm looking for now. Emojis have not left me. I think emojis are beautiful. They're visual. Numbers are always liquidity here. I personally, I have numbers, but I don't really look at buying more numbers. Words, I want to build stuff. So that's where I'm at with that game.
Thank you. I think we got the alpha hidden in his method. Hopefully you guys read between the lines of what he said, because he didn't give it directly, but he basically gave it directly. He's focusing on normalization. And okay, thank you, Luke. Congratulations on the sale. I think that was a phenomenal one, brother. And let's go over to 00. 00, the stage is yours, man.
Hey, Kev. I know he's not here. Dylan, test account Satoshi. I want to give him a big shout out from Bloom and I. Bloom and I are partners with him on WeFinance. That's another project we have together. And he just minted out one of his utilities, NFT. And I just want to give Dylan a big shout out. And he is a true builder in this space. I feel he doesn't get enough credit, but now finally people are realizing how good of a dev he is, and also the amount of utility that you get from that one NFT is just insane. Building your Web3 site. So I just want to give him a shout out to the community. If you guys don't know Dylan, give him a follow and take a look at what he's doing. Thank you.
Love that, Zero. Let's pass the mic over to E Money. E Money, the stage is yours, brother.
Hey man, hey Kev, thanks for the space. As ever, holding it down, keeping it real. So yeah, just want to thank everybody in the room as well. Some really exciting developments, obviously, with Bloom and the brokerage with Zero. Yeah, it's really good to hear. I just want to kind of reach out to Flexter as well, just to kind of mention if he's doing a show with Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, I would love to kind of hook up with you beforehand. I know Kevin's made some noises about stable coins, and he's obviously kind of got his finger on the pulse with where things are at. And if he's in the ENS game, then I'd like to speak to you, and maybe we could work something out about, like, you could introduce me and we could work something out between us. But yeah, I just wanted to just reach out to Flexter there. And yeah, some big news today. The EU has just agreed the MiCA crypto regulations. So big news, check it out. Huge landmark kind of legislation. Great in some ways, not great in others. But for the space as a whole, I think it's positive. We're just another step closer to mainstream adoption, which means, money will be in abundance in the market. So yeah, thanks for having me on. Always appreciate it. And yeah, enjoy your Wednesday, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, E Money. Thank you, E Money. And that's what it's all about: networking live on ENS Updates. That's what we're here. We're here. This is an open forum for the entire community. So any questions, comments, anxieties, frustrations, whatever it may be, this is the space for you. We do this show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is the space for you. So hopefully Flex and E Money could connect on that. I just brought up 9396 on stage. The stage is yours, man.
Hello, everyone. Hello, the great panel, the great speakers, and OGs in the game. Always inspiring to be on here. Every single space is that I join is mind blowing and just moving you a notch or sometimes miles ahead because somebody drops that piece of knowledge that you need badly when you grind and you struggle and you build your own world, your own portfolio, your own ID. So I'm always grateful. And I came up with a question as I was getting more involved in just organizing the domain portfolio that I acquired during the last 3 months. And with that being said, I wanted to give a huge shout out to 00 and ENS Vision because I finally dived in to use it as a tool for selling some domains, and I had a successful sell of 3-digit Arabic number. I decided to shave off, some profits. I had 3 of those. I decided that I will just stay with 2 and go for a long ride. But the feature of bulk renewal is just a game changer. There's nothing you have to think about. You just set it and it works. And the platform is just a pleasure to work with. So I wrote a tweet about it that I really feel like it's built by users for users. These guys are using this stuff on daily basis, and we get something that is making their lives easier, so it makes our lives easier as well. So it's just very transparent, and I love using it. But I wanted to ask probably a very basic question. A lot of guys here have big portfolios and probably spread across 2 or 3 wallets. I don't know. And I'm trying to come up with an idea. How do you organize? What is your like this sort of golden rule to organizing your portfolio, so you look at it and you're like, okay, this makes sense. It is a unit. Because I started like my portfolio is almost like a picture of how I evolved in a space. So there are gems in there are numbers in there are digits in there are things that make like sense to me. But there's also stuff that I'm like, I don't know if I want to look at it. It messes up with my organized mind a little bit. So if I could pick up your brain on how do you guys approach organizing this stuff? Do you just push it to a wallet that is like a separate wallet for stuff that is not your top game, and you kind of almost forget about it, or you carry on with a big chunk and you just you move on like that? I'll be happy to hear some insights on this. Thanks.
Looks like I have a quiet panel today. Oh, Luke for the save. Luke, the stage is yours, man.
Hey, that's actually a great question because I think organization is probably one of the most important things you can have in life, and much less in the domain space. Personally, I have a few wallets, and of course, categories are what we use on marketplaces. And you're going to probably want to just do it the way that looks right to you. So if you have names that you particularly think are good for subdomaining, do it that way. If you have just your digits, put them on one wallet. I think avatars are also a very, very useful thing. I think of avatars more like a YouTube thumbnail. I'm going to click on a name that has a nice avatar. Or for example, I'm going to click on a video. If it has the same title, I'm going to click on the video with the better thumbnail on YouTube. So I think avatars are somewhat of a important thing that really haven't been experimented on too much. I also think in terms of wallet and organization, I do have one wallet where I put all my things that are expiring this year, and I have another wallet where all my things that are expiring next year. And that end, just for simplicity with turning wallets basically into where I can bulk register, bulk renew everything. But thanks to ENS Vision, now that we have the bulk renewal, I guess we don't really have to have that, because you can actually, with their bulk renewal, you can set them to sync the times, which is super, super cool. But yeah, that's just kind of like a light area which I've experimented with a couple of my wallets myself.
And I wanted to ask about this synchronization thing, because I wanted to do that, but I was not sure. Like, it moves the sync date of like, how exactly does that work? It moves like to one date, all of them.
00 might be able to answer that better, but yeah, that's ideally what it does.
Which isn't necessarily a good idea, depending on you and your particular way of creating money. It's really cool to be on one day for convenience and stuff, but just consider, if you have like, I don't know, I'm just make up a number and throw out if you have $10,000 in renewals and all of those happen like December before Christmas, or they all happen in spring. You just have to make sure your cash flow, make whatever you do, make sure it matches your cash flow.
That's a really good point, Gary. I didn't even think about it like that. That's a really good point. Another good thing is when when you're going to register these domains. I like to. Most of my domains are registered for 3-year minimum. 3-year minimum is what most of them are registered for. So you probably don't want to
Which saves you a shitload of money on gas, right? If you're
Yeah.
registering one name for $5 and your gas is $10, and next year you re-register for $5 and your gas is still $10, you could have just registered basically, what is it, 4 or 5 years for the same price with the same one-time gas cost. And back to the consolidating your names, you could do 4 times a year, right? You could say, okay, 25% of my names, every 3 months, 25% of my names are going to renew, and this way, then you have it spread up like that, or maybe it's 12 times a year, every month, 1/12 of my names renew, but it's always on the 1st, or it's always on the 15th. Just a lot of ways to play your game unique to you.
And last question regarding organization to Luke. So if you have multiple wallets and they're organized the way you want to organize them, do you connect them all to like in ENS Vision, or you have one account that you route all the domains you want
None
to put up?
of us can tell you exactly what to do.
Yeah, I'm just picking up some
So
advices.
I just gotta say that, but it really depends on you, right? Because like the best way of doing it, roughly speaking, right? There's a lot of details I'm leaving out, but the best way of doing it might be to have your names in a like a cold wallet, which you don't connect to websites, right? You don't connect that wallet to a website, and then when you want to sell that name, then you would transfer it to the wallet that you do connect to the website. And this way you just know that you're never connecting your one wallet to the website, and then you're never accidentally connecting to the wrong website, right? And if your hot wallet ever gets hacked, you're only losing the names that are connected to that hot wallet. But if you do that, what I just said, then you're going to be paying a lot more in gas, transferring things around, right? So there's a cost benefit with how you want to set up your system.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautifully explained. There's another, in terms of like your gas thing that you're talking about as well. Another thing is like last year, you got to remember that gas was like average, like 50, 70, 100 some days. So if you're registering stuff for a year later and gas goes up, and now you're trying to bulk renew,
minimum of 125. There was like 4 or 5 or 6 months I never saw gas lower than 125 unless it was 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. But yeah, so you're going to be paying more that way too. So keep that in mind. But again, do what's in your budget.
Yeah, if Ethereum gas fees could be this low all the time, I think we have something special on our hands. The problem is when you're paying $100 for in gas fees for a $5 domain. Let's keep the show moving right along here. Thank you for the great questions, 93.
But Kev, can you imagine when the actual bull market comes back and gas prices aren't significantly improved? Like, yeah, they're a little bit improved, but not significantly. And the gas price, we are spoiled AF right now, just so you guys know. Like, I got a shit grin on my face because we're all going to be eating 500 gwei gas fees in like a year or so. So you better be doing what you got to be doing and pushing your registrations out now, because you will be paying more money when all the lemmings come back to buy the tops here.
That's hilarious to come back.
They're lemmings. You're in this room, so you're not a lemming. You're in the room building during the bear market. You're in the room learning during a bear market. So you guys are all leaders. Every single one of you in this room listening to our voices.
I love that. I couldn't agree with you more, Gary. I think now is the time to extend those registrations, register more. Gas is beautiful right now. But I do think Giga Brain Vitalik is working on something to help us lower those gas costs. Hopefully he's working on something. I think we're all aware of what's going on. I'm pretty sure he's aware of that as well. So, yeah, I just want to we're reaching the end of the show. Any final words from our co-host Ron, Master Ron? Man, do you want to leave us with any final words?
Yeah, and I think I'm going to be here tomorrow and maybe Friday. Friday, I think I'll be in Istanbul, but I'll for sure be here tomorrow. But yeah, I was just going to say, another thing kind of along what almost called him quad rockets again, but along what Luke said, the normalization, I've been buying the cash tags heavily. And then I noticed that yesterday there was some another kind of a mini Bezos was there buying a bunch of stuff, and I think he bought minus 37 for 7 ETH and a bunch of others for an ETH or more. So, that's starting. I don't even think those are normalized yet. Luke could confirm that, but that's a big trend, right? And I looked in his wallet; he owns a bunch of, three digit, a bunch of 4 digit, a bunch of emojis, a bunch of the negatives. So I mean, that's a trend that's going. And the last thing I was going to say is, yesterday I was renewing some of my. I have like 50 Chinese 3 digits, and I don't think I'm going to renew them, even though they're the real ones. And I think but people bought the longer ones, the written out ones, because they're less to register. And I think that probably cost me 30,000 by going what was probably the right way, I think. But then again, we get back to what Master always preaching, the carry costs. And I think that that's why I'm going with a lot of the 10K keycaps and stuff like that. That carry cost is heavy, and definitely I think new people coming to the space will want those $5 a year ones. So something to consider. Definitely learn more about that normalization, and that maybe the dollar signs, the dashes, the underscore, lead character. I think that's some alpha, and I think that I know moving forward, it's really hard to get me to buy a 3 or 4 digit unless I'm really committed to it, because right now I probably have 100 and that I'm going to keep, so that's still 60,000 a year. So yeah, definitely. What Master's always saying, there's that heavy carry cost. Got to really be committed, and if it's not like a real good, like 3 letter combo that I feel good about, or something I'm really passionate about, I'm really leaning towards the $5 a year, because you can hold them, for $25. You can hold them for 5 years, and a lot can happen in that money. So anyway, great show today, by the way. Shout out to Zero and Bloom and those guys. This is a grassroots wave happening at the speed that I've never seen, with some of the smartest people I've ever worked with, inside or outside of crypto. So I'm just super bullish about, like Punks always says, he's bullish on the community. I am too.
Right now, I see there are around 200 people still in this space, which is a very high number. And at the meantime, the 3 and 4 digits, that floor price is not at an all-time high, which means something else is pumping ENS community. So rest assured, we will be backed up always. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, that's why I love the 100K club as well. Thinking about the 100K club is becoming more attractive to me, just because of how cheap it is, and how cheap it is to renew. NFT verse, bro, our sixth man of the year. Any final words you want to say, man?
Nah, man, just great show today, Kev, as always. And just a shout out to the community. Like we repeated several times, is that there's builders in here building, and being so early, it's kind of fun to be able to kind of blaze your own path. Anything, they're just doing it, and having that type of drive, will force people to pay attention to it. And I think that that's what's happening, is that people have been on the sidelines watching for a while now, whether we see them or not. They've been watching for a while, and they're just now starting to see it, because the technology and the builders and what the builders are building for us in this community. It's pretty nice to say that ENS Vision, ENS.Vision, built a tool to serve the community, and they weren't forced to build it for anybody else but the community. That's powerful, and I've always said that companies follow money, they follow people. People have the money, and companies will follow them if it's strong, if the community is strong enough. So all the time that we've been waiting, for people to come into this space, that are at corporate type, companies to come in, they've been paying attention. Trust me, they got their people in here watching and paying attention, and popping into spaces and things like that. Trust me, I can guarantee it. And that's why you see them starting to do things, and you start to see more news coming about. It ain't just that they've come across something. It's that they've been paying attention to us the whole entire time. But sometimes even companies who have representatives out there watching things move, they have to do their due diligence first. And we've been doing this thing, I don't know how long now, Kev, this ENS update show. So I can guarantee you they probably thought that we'd fall off after 1 month. They probably thought we'd fall off after 2 months. They probably thought we'd fall off after 3 months. But guess what? We're still here. We're still here and we're still building. So if they're here listening today, we're still going to be here. So trust me, I'm in it for the long haul. I appreciate you, Kev.
Yes, sir. Very well said. Very well said. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the end of this show. I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsors who make this thing possible. The sponsors make this show possible, right? So I want to give a shout out to ENS Maxis. They are on stage with the Ethereum ENS logo and the M in between. Give them a follow. I want to give a special shout out to Crypto Slam. They are also on stage with the Lightning Bolt. Give them a follow. And then we just heard from Bloom Capital, aka Domain Plug. I hope you guys gave him a follow when he was on here. We do the show every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And most importantly, if you like the speakers, give us a follow. Because there's some of you guys in this room who are not following the speakers, and I think you should follow the speakers because they dropped off for the day. And with that being said, I'll be back on tomorrow for Thirsty Thursdays. You guys have a good one.